Office B, right? Okay. Should I sit here? Yeah, please take a seat right there. Thanks. Thank you. Well, thanks for your interest in this study. I really appreciate it. To help you decide whether you want to participate, I'm going to tell you about the study's purpose, how it may or may not help you, any risks to you, and what your participation will involve. Okay? And I'll do that by reviewing the consent form with you. And if you have any questions or any concerns, feel free to ask. Okay? Does that sound good? Yeah, it sounds good because I don't even know much about the study. I'm gonna start reading the consent form with you. Okay? So, Dr. Heather Pines, Britt Scathman, Laramie Smith, and their associates from the University of California, San Diego, UCSD, are conducting their research and asking for your consent to participate. Why is this study being conducted? Pre-exposure prophylaxis, or PrEP, is an HIV prevention strategy where HIV negative individuals take a medication used to treat HIV infection to reduce their risk of getting HIV. From other studies, we know that the use of PrEP by persons at risk for HIV substantially reduces their chances of getting HIV. Men who have sex with men, or MSM, experience a high risk of HIV infection. However, few MSMs are aware of PrEP or currently use PrEP to protect themselves from HIV. So the purpose of this study is to learn whether training MSM to educate their MSM and their social networks about PrEP can increase their peers' use of PrEP. Now, what will happen to you in this study? In a private setting, like this one, a study staff member will spend about 45 minutes asking you a series of questions about MSM in your social network. By MSM in your social network, we mean adult MSM, at least 18 years of age, with whom you interacted in the past 3 months, who are your sex partners, friends, and family members. You will be asked extensive questions concerning the following interactions with these peers. Social, with whom did you hang out or socialize? Sexual, with whom did you have oral anal sex? Substance use, with whom did you use drugs, drink alcohol, or party? D. Emotional support, with whom did you talk to about things that were important, personal, or private? And 5. Informational support, from whom did you seek information, advice, or guidance? These interactions will be associated with the person's name and entered into a secure database. We are collecting this information to understand how the characteristics of one social network influence peer education about PrEP and referrals to the study for PrEP. We will not contact any of the people you tell us about and will protect the privacy of the things you tell us about them as described in the section on confidentiality below. If you are not comfortable with this, you should not participate in this study.
I continue with this consent form, to just bear with me. I know it's a little bit long, but this information is really important for you to know so you can have make a better decision whether or not you would like to participate, okay? What are the risks associated with this study? Participation in this study may involve some risks or discomforts. These include personal questions. You will also be asked questions about personal issues, including your sexual behaviors and drug use and whether you had sex or used drugs with members of your social network during the study questionnaire. Answering these questions could make you feel upset or uncomfortable and could cause you to experience stress, embarrassment, or personal discomfort. You do not have to answer any questions that you do not want to answer. Study staff will provide you with information on where you can get counseling if you so wish. Loss of confidentiality. There is a possibility that your participation in this study or information gathered from you will become known to persons outside the study. There is a possibility that your sharing of information about members of your social network without their consent will become known to members of your social network and their community. The disclosures noted above could potentially lead to embarrassment or other emotional discomfort, physical or social harms, civil or criminal liability, and or cause problems between you and members of your family, social network, and or community. We will minimize these risks by protecting your privacy as described in this section on confidentiality below. Although we will make every effort to protect participants' privacy and confidentiality, we cannot ensure complete privacy. So what about your confidentiality? Research records will be confidential to the extent permitted by law. We will ask for your name to ensure that each subject only participates once in this study. This information will be kept in a locked cabinet that only study staff can open and will be destroyed 6 months after the end of the study. For research purposes, your name and basic social demographic information, as well as the names and basic social demographic information you provide for members of your social network, will be kept in a secure file. That file will only be accessible to authorized study staff and will be destroyed 6 months after the end of the study. To protect your privacy and the privacy of members of your social network, the other information you provide about yourself and them will be labeled by a unique ID and will not be kept with any names. The results of the study may be published in scientific journals or presented at scientific meetings. You will not be personally identified in any publication about this study. All records and study data will be kept with the study investigators in a locked file cabinet or secure, password-protected computer and only accessible to those entities listed above. If any data collected as part of this study is transferred via the internet, data security procedures have been established as outlined below. Data transfer and all web-based utilities use secure access. This type of encryption is the same as is used for web-based transactions that involve credit cards or web banking. This research is covered by a certificate of confidentiality from the U.S. National Institutes of Health. Researchers with this certificate may not disclose or use information, documents, or biospecimens that may identify you in any federal, state, or local, civil, criminal, administrative, legislative, or other action, suit, or proceeding, or be used as evidence unless you have consented for this use.
And do you have any questions, any concerns, and would like to participate?
That was very clear. Thank you for taking the time and explaining everything to me. And yes, I would like to participate. Thank you.
Oh, great. So if you can please print your name here and sign it that you agree to participate.
Here, right?
Great, everything looks good. Thank you. Let's get started with the survey. So the survey questions that I will ask are on a secure program on my iPad called Network Campus. Okay, so let me open it. For this survey, we will be talking about MSM in your social network. That is, the MSM you have interacted with in the past 6 months. By MSM, we mean men over 18 years of age who have sex with men. MSM in your social network could include family, friends, sexual and romantic partners, or other MSM you may have interacted with in person, over the phone, or through text, social media, or dating apps. Please limit your responses to MSM in your social network who are at least 18 years of age. We are trying to learn more about the social networks of MSM and how they shape HIV prevention behaviors. Having names and demographic information of the MSM you interacted with in the past 6 months will help us see how people in this study are connected to one another, for example, through mutual friends. It will also help us remember who we talked about today the next time we meet. Please keep in mind that everything you tell me is confidential and that we will protect the privacy of the people you mention. We will never, at any time, use this information to contact anyone you mention, okay? To get us started, I will read you a series of questions about different types of interactions you might have had with MSM in your social network. For each person you name, please tell me their first name and last name. I will only enter the first name in the computer, in the iPad, but will record their first and last name on a sheet of paper that I will store in a lock file cabinet at the end of this interview that will only be accessible to authorized study staff.
Okay.
Good, good. Okay. So, in the past 6 months, with whom do you talk to about things that are important, personal, or private?
Let me think. My friend Ryan Reynolds. Have my friend Patrick Swayzer. I have
Mhm.
my friend Mario Lopez and Jorge Castillo.
Now, next question. In the past 6 months, with whom did you get advice about your health, HIV, or PrEP?
Not that I remember. Nobody.
Okay. Now, next question. In the past 6 months, with whom did you have sex that is 18 years of age or older? Please tell me the names of these people in the order in which you had sex with them, starting with your most recent sexual partner.
Wait, tell me what you need their name, the full name again? And are you gonna try to find it, or what's going on?
Oh, no, we will never at any time attempt to contact the people you name. The names will only be seen by the study investigators and used to create network diagrams of the connection between people to help us design future HIV prevention programs.
Okay. I had sex with Ryan Reynolds.
Okay. Now, in the past 6 months, with whom do you drink alcohol or use drugs with more than once?
I think it was just with Patrick. Yeah, Patrick Swayzer.
Of the people you just named, which of them know each other?
Oh, cool. That's how you do it. Then, then him, him.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you some follow up questions about the people you just told me about. Which of the following best describes your relationship to the people listed on the screen?
And I think from the last ones, from like a couple months, like Patrick is my friend and my fat buddy. Ryan is just a person that I know that I can have sex with. For Mario, he was actually my ex, but we still.
The next few questions are only about the people you told me you had sex with. Which option best describes how often you drank alcohol within 2 hours of having sex with the people listed on this screen? Never, less than half of the time, about half of the time, more than half the time, or always?
About half of the time.
Okay. Okay, which option best describes how often you'd used drugs within 2 hours of having sex with the people listed on the screen? So the response options are never, less than half of the time, about half the time, more than half the time, or always.
Never.
Okay, and then which of these people have ever expressed favorable opinions about HIV testing or knowing your HIV status?
Okay. I know Ryan and Patrick. They're super supportive.
Okay. Now, which of these people have expressed unfavorable opinions about HIV testing or knowing your HIV status?
Mario. Just Mario. Only.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. You have reached the end of the survey. Great. I'm going to make sure we delete the session so no data is within the iPad, and we're going to upload it to our secure server. Awesome. Delete the session. Yes. Great. And we're done. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to answer my questions. We're done. That's it for this visit. Please accept this incentive as a token of our appreciation for your time.
Oh my god, yeah, it was so fast. Okay, thank you so much. And did you mention that I'm coming back in 6 months, right?
Yes, you become in 6 months.
Great, thank you.